What do you think? What do you have to say? No, don't eat it. People think that my job is a lot of puppies and kittens, which a lot of it is, but it's also a lot of picking up poop and cleaning up vomit and, for lack of a better word, hurting puppies when we have to give them vaccines or medications. So the hardest thing that I have probably had to do as a veterinary technician is probably what people would expect. We do deal with euthanasias, and the way that euthanasias work is essentially we don't really have a lot of say in the matter. So if an owner comes in with a perfectly healthy dog and says, I would like to euthanize, that's not up to us, we have to do it. If an owner comes in with a very sick dog and says, oh, I don't want to euthanize, I think that it's fine, she's very happy, that's also not up to us. A very specific euthanasia instance that sticks with me is a 2-year-old cat. His name was Fern. He came in and he immediately, upon taking him out of the carrier, was very skinny. His fur was not shiny. We knew something was up, so the doctor suggested running some blood work, which all came back abnormal and suggested feline leukemia. And so they brought him in to be euthanized. It was a decision that, everybody on staff and in the family had come to together. We all agreed that it was the best thing for Fern. But they brought him in, and I remember holding this cat so that we could place the IV catheter, and the entire time he was purring, which is very uncommon for cats, especially in a situation where they're being poked, they're being restrained. It was already, we were all very emotional, and it was just this really young cat. He was super sweet, and I cried 5 times that day. Just after the euthanasia itself, after the owners left, I went into the bathroom and I cried for 15 minutes and I was gotta go back to work. And that's always the hardest part is, the owner gets to go home and be sad for however long they need to be sad, and we have to go into the next room with a smile on our face and see the next client. And so Fern has always stuck with me, probably because I am a crazy cat lady and I have cats myself, but also just because it was a really tough one to try to bounce back from right after.
Can you tell me about how important the 2 cats are to you?
My cats are very important to me, and I know everybody will probably say that about their pets if you ask them. I got my cat Olive when I was a freshman in college because I struggled a lot with anxiety and I was moving completely far away from my parents. They live in Minnesota, so it was a big jump to go alone. And I just happened to find Olive in a barn, but she helped me through the majority of my time in college, at least in person in college. She was registered as an emotional support animal, so she was allowed to live with me in the dorms. So we had a lot of adventures, just her and I. And then she started to get really lonely, and I just happened to be blessed with the other fatso, Havarti. This big boy was born in my closet. I got Havarti when I found his mother. I found her in a wildlife refuge near my parents' house. And I told my friend, I said, okay, I shouldn't take home another cat, but if she follows us back to the car, which was about 1.5 miles away, I said that I would take her. She followed us all the way to the car. I opened the door and she jumped in on her own. So I brought her home. We took her to the vet the next day. She was pregnant and she had 2 kittens, one of which is Havarti. The other one, my mother kept. I love Chicago. I haven't really lived anywhere else in general, but especially in a place like this. I loved living in downtown Chicago just because it was completely different to what I knew growing up. So I loved all the big buildings, and I loved all the hustle and bustle, and I loved the idea that all of these people, all of these millions of people were just there living their own lives, having their own thoughts, you know, doing anything. And I could be one of those people doing anything, doing whatever I wanted to do, and it was sort of the land of opportunity. So I love Chicago. Okay. She does not like that thing is moving. The other thing is, you know, so that is how I ended up with my fat boy. Havarti, do not. Also, in case this video blows up, I know he's fat. Don't grab my face. What do you think? Are you a baby? You a little baby? You're purring. You like it? He's the real star.